How can we ensure a permanent power supply in industrial applications and power plants? To be honest, we all want to eat something warm at 12 o'clock, right? Without electrical energy, it won't be possible. Hello, and welcome back to the world of electrification and automation and the Global Summit 2022. This is the follow-up unboxing session from the generator circuit breaker. My name is Luis Francisco, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Sebastian Schneider. Sebastian is the Product Lifecycle Manager for Generator and Transformer Protection at Siemens. As you won't be able to ask questions, this is a live session directly to us. So please type them in the Q&A box. At the end of the session, then we'll have a Q&A session to answer your questions. So I would like here to welcome Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian.
Welcome, Luis.
How are you doing? It's my pleasure having you here.
Yeah, nice to be here.
That's perfect. Hey, let's start immediately. So what do you have for us in this unboxing event?
Yeah, today I have the honor to unbox the new high-speed busbar transfer system, which is based on SIPROTEC 5. This device is the official successor of the SIPROTEC 4 7VU683, and therewith we are completing the SIPROTEC 5 portfolio. I have the new device here, so let's see here.
This is great. And what is the name of this guy?
Yeah, the name of this new device is 7VU85.
And why you have selected that name?
Yeah, this name is in line with the SIPROTEC 5 series for the modular devices. This device is also in line with that, so therefore we chosen the 85 number.
Okay, so 7VU85. So which applications then can we expect to be addressed, performed with this device?
Okay, yeah, especially for power plants and industrial customers, HSBT device is necessary for an automatic switching of different incomer sources. Therewith, we can ensure a high availability.
Okay, so you mentioned that for power plant. Can you share with us some of the use cases? I mean, which use cases do you have or you can share about this technology in power plants?
Yeah, there are several scenarios, of course, in a power plant which requires an automated bus transfer switching device or system. The first one is the startup of the generator. Before the generator is started up, some motors have to be run in a power plant, and they got the power from one of the two incomer sources. Usually, the plant is started up from the external power supply or external power sources. The second use case is the shutdown of the generator. And for this, normally motors and pumps, like for cooling, like in a nuclear power plant, of course, needs to be run. So, and in this scenario, the transfer is automatic, or the power supply is automatic transfer from the main source to the external or additional alternative source, of course. And the third one, for me, I think, as protection engineer, is the important use case is that during a fault in the main source or in the main incomer, we have to switch it automatically to the alternative source that the motors and pumps are running in case of a loss of the main sources.
Okay, perfect. I mean, I can imagine that on top of having application to the power plants, I mean, they may exist also application for the industrial side. So can you share with us some also of those cases?
Yeah, why we need this for industry customers. And industry customers have a lot of critical infrastructure, of course. Because a power cut will cause a production failure. And in the end, huge losses. So the continuous power supply is very important for most of the industry customers, especially for chemical or for petrochemical industry. We need an where we have an interruption of the power supply, this caused financial losses and problems with the production. It can happen hours, if not days, that the process is returned back to a normal operation after an interruption, of course.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I was myself working once, you remember, I mentioned that to you once, to the mining industry. And there, whenever we have one of these startup of the power plants, I mean, that takes hours. So I can imagine how critical it could be having this device playing, you know, one key role on keeping things up and running, right?
Right.
Okay, so when are you planning releasing this new device?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Good question. Good question. Currently, we are in the development phase. So, but the first release is planned for end of August.
Okay.
And if you want, of course, early adapter, early pilot customer, please contact me and send me an email. Yeah.
That's a call. That's a call. I have here another question. I mean, when compared with the previous generations, right, the SIPROTEC 4, I mean, what is new? I mean, what exactly you are integrating in this device?
Yeah, of course. When we develop a new device, of course, then we put something new into that device, of course.
Yes.
New is the flexibility, which is well known from SIPROTEC 5, also for complex scenarios. We focusing on the usability in Dixie to parameterize different transfer groups, transfer direction, and so on. You find a lot of new tables in Dixie to set up the transfer directions and transfer modes. We improve also the existing algorithm for the angle prediction, especially for the fast and the real-time fast mode to be faster than before. Yeah, because a short interruption is better for the motors, which is connected to the bus, and we prevent a large impact current and also torque stress for the motors when we're switching to the alternative source.
Okay, so I see. I mean, if I look at everything that you already shared with us and our audience, so summarizing, I mean, we have a new product in the portfolio that is meant to address critical infrastructure, right? It could be either power plants or industrial applications. And I won't go to the use cases because that would be too much for me for today. But I would like to ask you, and any final thoughts on from your side?
Yeah, let me summarize some points. So the 7VU is made to ensure an uninterrupted power supply with different modes, prevent motors for large impact current, as I told, provide easy configuration in case of complex application with many circuit breaker and bus couplers and so on, provide the full flexibility because we have here a hardware platform which is modular, and we have this full flexibility for all applications and power plants and industrial applications as well.
Okay. Perfect. I mean, thank you for being here. It's always a great pleasure. Yeah. Now I would like to take on some of the questions. I mean, I think that all those questions, I mean, I already looked here, many of them. Interesting. So I want to hear from AT. I mean, how this SIPROTEC device differ from other competitors? I mean, that's a tough one.
It's a tough question. Yeah, we have the possibility with the SIPROTEC 5 platform to expand this device, hardware and software related. So that means we have the full flexibility to adapt this device to every application if you like, and this with one device and not with several devices. So this is, I think, this is one topic which is quite new. Yeah, and of course we doing some investigations before we start the development, and have some workshops with the other owners of high-speed busbar transfer or transfer systems, and we get all these requirements, and we combine all these requirements into that new device, so that we offering a device which is, I think, which perfectly fits to all the applications what we know.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering. I have here another question. This is from, who's this one? MR. How many circuit breakers are supported by this device? Is there a limit?
No, there's no limit. I think, okay, for the first release, we limited to 20 circuit breaker.
20 circuit breakers?
because we have the possibility to instantiate different HSBT function into one device. That the customer can play with it, so can instantiate different HSBT function groups and can arrange different transfer modes or different transfer directions. In the end, it means it is a lot of effort for testing. So that's why for the first release we limited to 20. But I think with 20 we more or less fulfill everything what is known from the applications from the field.
Yeah. I was not expecting that many. Okay, thank you. Let me go for more questions. I see one here. I mean, it's mentioning one competitor, so I'm saying a competitor is providing a solution with actual a 6MD85, so with a PLC.
Yep.
I mean, are those applications also covered somehow here?
Yes. So
that one is very specific. This should be like an expert.
Yeah, of course. As I told to you, we have some workshops in advance to get all these requirements, and this solution was well known since I think 10 years, and the colleagues from the Siemens Energy was using that solution.
Yes, exactly.
So, and now we covering everything with that device. So, and I think it is more comfortable for the customer to do the parameterization in Dixie, and we had a fully tested device which is coming from one source, and I think it is a huge step into the right direction.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I have one question from SJ, and it says, is it possible to include protection function as cost-saving measures?
Yes, of course. So
because the whole functionality is also available.
Yeah, not the whole functionality. So we do a pre-selection, but most of the functions like overcurrent functions, voltage functions, frequency, and so on is available in the device, and also in this Dixie library, and they can use it. So I think it is the same mixture of functions like we have done in the 7VE in a paralleling device. So and this, I think, in the end, this fulfills everything. So, and if some functions are missing, so we can add these functions in the next release, of course.
Talking about next release, I see one in that direction. I mean, actually, you mentioned that it's coming in August, right?
July, August.
August.
This is planned with the version 9.30 currently. It can be shifted due to the summer holidays.
Yes.
So, but I'm really sure that we coming in that specific time with the first release, and I think you're asking for the second release.
Somebody, make that question. Is like, what is coming afterwards?
Yeah, we planned to have a second release and a third release, of course. In the second release, we do some improvements regarding the recorder functionality. So this is a little bit a kind of usability. We integrate some new function groups for circuit breakers, especially for circuit breakers where we do not measure the current. So this is a new requirement which is coming also from other departments where we have circuit breaker without currents, so only for status. And of course, in the end, one big requirement for the HSBT device is the load shedding functionality. Some customers are asking for it. They want to check motors or the load on the motor bus before they initiate the trip or the transfer.
Okay. I mean, I see here many questions. I'm going to pick another one. There's a question about if we can use it, for example, in hospitals. I would expect that yes. But this one is for the applications that you mentioned. Is what should be the, no, this one, what is it? Is it possible to have it for double breaker bus arrangement? So 2 bus bar systems. This is SR.
This is possible as well. So we are quite flexible with the applications, and this is possible with the SIPROTEC 5 platform.
Yeah.
So you can expand the hardware and also the software in that device. So and therefore we have no limitations.
Okay, thank you. It's always a great pleasure having you here. To all of you, thank you for the questions. I mean, there's more questions popping up, but we're gonna stop it here. And your questions will be, of course, answered afterwards. So thank you for your answer, Sebastian.
Thank you too.
And for those who are looking at this, remember this session is recorded, so it will be available as soon as the session ends. And I would like you also to take the possibility and the opportunity to go to the expert booth in this conference. You can literally talk just as we're doing right now. You can literally talk directly with the expert for this wide portfolio in the electrification and automation business. So that said, this is all that we have for you today in this unboxing event. Thank you once again, and thank you all of you. Stay safe and healthy. See you soon.